guys in America, and they were saying, oh, you know, it's so easy with fat women. All you have to do is tell them they're beautiful and they'll do whatever you want, and then you can leave them the next day. And then turned to me and went, oh, hey, beautiful.
Wait, so if you're Christian, does that mean that, like, this isn't going to happen?
And so what are you saying? Are you saying that, because, you know, if I was to go to the beach and someone, you know, and because I travel independently, so I'm an independent woman, you know, I'm traveling by myself and I'm at the beach and I walk to my place alone and I get jumped and raped, what I was asking for it because I was alone and I was at the beach and I might have had a bikini on, is that my fault? And he said, yes.
And there's you fat Mexican bitch.
Like, I've been told that I shouldn't put on any more weight because it'll take a special kind of person to love me anyway, so I wouldn't want to make things harder on myself. I've also been told that with regard to being queer, like, you know, you don't want to tell people about that because it'll just make things kind of harder.
I won a big prize, fellowship, artistic award, and somebody said to me, oh yeah, they must have really wanted to give it to you because you're a woman, and so they must have chosen you because of that.
Yeah, the first time I went to have an abortion, they said, when I went to walk in, there was all picketers outside the clinic. They were trying to hand me flyers with like pictures of aborted fetuses and stuff on them, and saying to me like, it's not too late, you don't have to do this. It's like, you don't know who I am, you don't know why I'm here. I was so young.
He would ask me to do things like, can you pretend you're my sister? Can you pretend you're my daughter? Can you pretend I'm raping you?
Have you ever thought about going to the gym?
Oh, look at her. Oh, no point going out tonight.
Now you've come, you know, you've flirted with me, you've come to my house, now you've given me blue balls, like, how dare you, like, not have sex with me, pretty much.
Telling someone I was a sex worker and being told that I'm too beautiful to be a sex worker or too pretty to be a sex worker, which is just offensive.
I just want to take care of you. You're such a sweet, innocent little baby. You're like my little innocent girl.
Oh yeah, you've put in some more effort. Yeah, you look pretty nice. You should put in this much effort every day.
Yeah, it was like every time he'd have to make a comment about how much makeup it was, and yeah, it was like, and would never like me wearing lipstick, but a couple of times I wore lipstick and he was like, oh, I hate it, it feels gross, like, don't kiss me, don't touch me with it.
It's like, I've never had a tongue ring on my cock before, like, get down and, you know, locked me in a bathroom.
Not gonna let you out of here until you give me a kiss. And you had me trapped behind a poker machine. I couldn't get out.
Or I will get regendered as masculine by men and be referred to as he, particularly when I'm with my girlfriend, because lesbians can't exist, so, and particularly lesbians in wheelchairs can't exist.
Afterwards, when we were dating and stuff, he said to me that if I had slept with him on that first date, even though he did want to come up, and he said he would have slept with me on the first date, he wouldn't have wanted to see me again, because that would just indicate that I was too easy. And wouldn't that make you easy? His answer's no. No, because it's different for the man.
And once we'd gotten into the room and we're just like interacting and whatever, he was like, touched my chest and was like, where are your boobs? You need bigger ones.
I just remember him saying it like a couple of times because I had really short hair. Do you think that I looked too dykey?
I remember one time I was crying on a train, and this guy like came and he put his arm around me and he was like, it's okay, it's going to be okay. And I was like, please don't touch me, like, I'm fine, I'm doing my own thing, like, please go away. And he was like, no, you need comfort. And he was just like, you know, putting his hands all over me and trying to grab me, and I was beautiful. I was in a vulnerable space.
A guy told me he wanted to save me once from my job doing sex work. So it's just like an assumption that you're, that you need help, that you're like down and out if you do that kind of stuff.
Kind of odd. And he kept like started looking at the chick next to him like up and down and stuff, who was just across from me. And then he got up to like leave the tram, and as he like got up to leave the tram, he like leaned across as if he was like trying to stop himself, but he actually like went to grab my tit, going ballistic at me, and was like, you fucking slut, you fucking stuck up bitch, I wasn't fucking trying to touch you, you fucking bitchy fucking rah rah rah.
Oh yeah, and I'll buy you this drink, but if I do that, you have to promise that you'll have sex with me.
What are you doing in your relationship to make sure that you're contributing equally? Because, you know, it's going to take a special kind of person to love you and to look past this stuff.
Minutes, he'd be waking me up again for sex again. And at this point, I'm like, I just can't. And I said no. And I said no, and I kept saying no, and it was really, really painful. And he did not stop. He did not stop. Couldn't push him away, it was too strong. And he wanted to see me again afterwards. And I said to him, I can't see you. And he's like, why not? And I said, don't you understand? Like, I kept saying no, and you kept at it. And he looked at me like in disbelief, and he says, what do you mean? And I said, did you not hear me say no? Like, could you not see? Could you not see that I was crying and how many times I'd said no and I was fighting you to push off, and yet you still continued? And I said, that's not on. And I said, that's rape. And at the mention of the word, like, he just seized up and he says, no, it wasn't. And I said, that is exactly what that was. That was rape. Because maybe in his mind he thought that we'd had sex so many times before that it was okay. But I'd said no. Is that not enough?
And I asked him to stop. I was like, please stop. And I just remember him like looking at me and then being like, why?
Like, oh, you're young, you're beautiful, life's not going to be a problem for you. You'll be looked after because of that.
If you wanted to have sex, it would be, you've been a bad girl. And then it would go to, oh, you're such a good girl. So I didn't actually know which one I was supposed to be.
Remember workmen being like, I'd fuck that.
Oh, you're so tight, said the guy who was raping me.
Or like, no, like, it's cool that you're Christian. Like, I think it's like, it makes you seem kind of like innocent. Like, and that's kind of sexy.
Oh, I'm just touching your butt's a joke. Like, get over it. Like, what's wrong with you?
He's like, oh, come on, cheer up. Like, come on, like, why don't we go get a drink? I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. And then I said I wasn't going to have sex until I was married because I was 17 and I couldn't think of what else to say. And then he said, oh, fuck it, we can get married, I don't care. It's all good.
Oh, so, but if you believe in God, then, like, does that mean you don't fuck? Or, like, oh, so what does it say in the Bible about fucking?
And he followed me for blocks and blocks and blocks all the way home. And he was saying that he wanted to marry me and that he would pay for it, and he just really wanted to marry me, and he would give me lots of money. Well, a guy's following me home just after the Jill Maher stuff in a similar area. He proceeded to be like, where are you going? Where do you come from? Like, what nationality are you? What, you know, where are you going? And I said, this isn't relevant. We're not having this conversation. I just want to go home. Please do not talk to me. And when I started to turn to a different direction, so I would be not going home but to the 7-Eleven, he put his hand up my skirt from my butt to my vagina.
don't even know what they were saying. They were just coming at me. What were they saying? They were just coming at me and grabbing. And I screamed, gendarme, gendarme!
He used to constantly tell me that he didn't like hair on my body. He was relentless about it, and at some point he's like, well, I don't like to see hair in that asshole when I bend a chick over. My ex used to bleach her anus. You should give it a go.
You've got to watch what you eat, all that kind of stuff.
We had a huge fight one time. He was telling me how great porn is. Yeah, lots of guys tell me how great porn is, and like I'm missing out and stuff because it's like really sexy.
I'm just used to being with nymphos, like, and you're just totally not a nympho. And then another guy's like, you're just a sex maniac, aren't you? You're just a sex crazed maniac.
So when I was younger, the first times I experienced like being treated differently because I was a girl was by my father, being told I had to keep my legs together if I was sitting with my legs spread wide. Also being told that I wasn't allowed to cut my hair as well, like cut it short. And told that I had to put a top on when my brothers didn't have to put a top on, and we all pretty much, you know, I didn't have boobs, like I had a flat chest, so I looked the same as them, but I had to have the top on because I was a female.
Oh, well, if you're so do you don't shave your legs?
Had one guy come up to me, stand in front of my chair and say, if I was you, I'd go home and kill myself right now. I just thought that he would tell me that, you know, I should do that. So yeah, I kind of get the intersection of disability and gender, so the extreme end of kind of ableist responses.
He's like, oh, cool. So like if you've got that PCOS thing, that means I don't have to use a condom.
Younger, a guy who was like living at our house, I was telling him I needed to really take a shit, and he was like, girls don't poop, girls don't poop. Like, yes they do.
Oh, feminism. So like you've fucked chicks or?
After that attack, I broke my wrist. And one of the weirdest things was like going into work. And I remember one guy in particular said, after hearing the story, because it was just circling around work, said, oh, well, you know, lads will be lads, couldn't help himself with a pretty girl like you, kind of thing.
Like, I always like it better when you don't wear makeup, and it was like never a consideration that it was for me. I'm telling you that you're wasting your time because I don't like you in this. And a number of times I had to explain to him, like, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing it for me. Like, I like makeup. And I remember once having a discussion with him where he's like, but you shouldn't care about that. Shouldn't you care what I think about your makeup?
You're not like most girls. I can tell you've got morals, like you're not like other girls.
Me and my girlfriend were in the city wandering along, and two rather intoxicated men at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon decided to come up and slap me on the back and say, oh, you out for a good night out, mate? And then we kept going because we didn't want to interact with them. And I think we held hands, or we had a kiss, or
I think we were already holding hands.
Yeah.
But they'd read you as a dude, so it wasn't a problem then.
Yeah, and then they realised that, no, we were lesbians. So then they proceeded to keep following us and offer to show us their penises to cure us of our lesbianism. One guy, I think he reached his hand into his pants.
One guy had his hands in his pants and he was about to unzip, and I had to threaten to call the cops. And at that point his mate then suggested it was a bad idea, but he was going to keep going.